In this video, we will teach a beginner how to properly and accurately pass a soccer ball to a stationary target at the short distance of 5 feet, a medium distance of 10 feet, and a long distance of 20 feet. After completing the 2-hour practice session as instructed, a novice soccer player should be able to pass a soccer ball accurately to a stationary teammate at varying distances. The critical factors required to perform a soccer pass are to place the non-dominant foot on the other side of the ball, winding up the dominant striking leg, striking the ball with your dominant foot, and following through. As you can see, the critical factors we just talked about are displayed by the performer in the video. The flexible factors of this action includes the amount of steps taken before you contact the ball, the length the dominant leg must travel for the wind-up, the force of the kick, and the contact position of the foot on the ball, which means striking the ball with either the inside, middle, or outside of the foot. In this lesson, we will classify the motor skill and integrate practice variability, contextual interference, augmented feedback, and focus of attention to ensure the efficient learning of the motor skill. According to Gentile's taxonomy, the motor skill falls under 1D because there is body transport, object manipulation, stationary regulatory conditions, and no intertrial variability. Body transport occurs when the performer is moving towards the ball prior to striking the ball. Object manipulation occurs because the performer is manipulating the ball with his or her foot to pass the ball. Stationary regulatory conditions occur because the target is stationary. And lastly, no intertrial variability occurs because the pass is going to a stationary target. During the first hour of practice, the beginner will practice each variation of the pass individually. At the end of practice, the beginner will practice each variation of the pass in a random order. The 2-hour practice session will start with block sessions, which include the beginner practicing the short distance pass for 30 minutes, then the medium distance pass for 50 minutes, followed by the long distance pass for 15 minutes. Once this hour is complete, the beginner will progress by moving to a 30-minute serial session of the 3 variations of the pass in a repetitive order of short distance, medium distance, and long distance passes. For the last 30 minutes, the beginner will progress to performing each of the 3 variations of the pass in a random order. Moving from block practice to serial practice increased contextual interference and incorporated practice variability to create progression. Moving from serial practice to random practice further increased contextual interference and practice variability to create progression. Since the video is intended for beginners, whenever the learner is given feedback, it will be KR and prescriptive KP, since the learner will not know if he or she is doing the movement incorrectly. Throughout the 2-hour practice session, the learner will be given feedback whenever he or she requests it. Self-controlled feedback leads to more active involvement in the learning process and encourages self-discovery learning, which is crucial for motor learning. Whenever the learner would ask for feedback, feedback given would foster an external focus of attention. It was important that the external cues given were meant to correct critical factors of the soccer pass. One of the cues that was given was to act like he was stepping on a bug that was to the side of the ball. This was given to correctly place his non-dominant foot on the side of the ball. Another cue that was given was to act like his leg is getting ready to pull the trigger. This was given to properly wind up the dominant striking leg. Another cue was to act like his foot is going through the ball. This was given for him to properly follow through with his leg. Learning will be assessed based on the amount of errors made by the learner. The learner is given a maximum amount of time to spend for each activity. By the end of that time, the learner should be able to accurately complete 90% of the passes for each activity. If the individual is able to complete 90% of the passes for a given activity before the time limit, he or she can move on to the next activity. 24 hours after the practice session, a retention test will be conducted for the short, medium, and long distance passes to determine if the individual learned how to properly pass a ball.